Hi, this is Morley and this is the M-Wire. In this video, we're going to look at how Netflix has actually been indicted for promoting pedophilia in Cuties. I think this is certainly warranted, and I'm glad that some jurisdiction somewhere was willing to take a stand against this. Netflix has repeatedly defended this film. They think that there's absolutely and positively nothing wrong with a film like this. I haven't seen it. I've only seen clips of it, but believe me, that was quite enough. There was absolutely no shortage of outrage over this film. Let's be real here. People have canceled their subscriptions left, right, and center. If no one speaks out against this, filmmakers will assume that it's okay and continue to make films like this. A precedent absolutely needs to be set. There seems to be distinct groups of people that want to see this type of thing normalized. But look at where Hollywood is, though. California, a state whose governor recently signed a bill into law that will allow the age of consent to be within 10 years. Disgusting. By passing laws like this, it almost encourages filmmakers to make films like this, to be honest with you. It really does. But here's the one thing that they don't seem to get. The rest of the world isn't as sick and as depraved as they are. I'm sorry, not sorry, but if you are sexually attracted to children, there's really something wrong with you. I can hear the left saying that's archaic thinking. Well, guess what? As long as I'm alive and breath in my body, I will be against it and nothing will change my mind. Period. I certainly see the correlation between what the left calls progressive and the rest of the world calls reprobate. Child trafficking is a very under-discussed topic in films like this. Do nothing to combat it, but quite the opposite, promote it. I mean, we have a former U.S. president of the United States who was under investigation for allegedly having sex with a minor on Epstein Island, and the media hardly said anything about it. I'm glad there's still decent moral jurisdictions out there that speak out against things like this. Let's get into this. Netflix indicted for promoting pedophilia in Cuties. A grand jury in eastern Texas, Tyler County, has indicted Netflix for its promotion of lewd visual material depicting a child in the controversial film Cuties. The indictment states that Netflix knowingly promoted visual material which depicts the lewd exhibition of the genitals or pubic area of a clothed or partially clothed child who was younger than 18 years of age. This depiction, the indictment goes on to clarify, appears to be the purest interest in sex and has no serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value. As we reported, Netflix has been promoting various forms of child pornography and pedophilia for years, which drove many of its decent and sensible patrons to cancel their subscriptions in protest. Back in September, Senator Ted Cruz chastised Netflix for streaming Cuties, noting that the film routinely fetishizes and sexualizes these pre-adolescent girls as they perform dances simulating sexual conduct in revealing clothing, including one scene with at least partial child nudity. At the time, Cruz called for a criminal investigation into the film, describing it as pornographic. These scenes in and of themselves are harmful, he further added, and it's like the filming of the movie created even more explicit and abusive scenes that the pedophiles across the world in the future will manipulate and imitate this film in abusive ways. While the First Amendment to the Constitution does provide vigorous protection for artistic expression, Cruz made sure to note it does not provide license for individuals or for-profit corporations to produce and distribute child pornography. Far-left media defends Cuties, calls it bold and misunderstood. Released on September 9th, Cuties immediately drew ire from those with moral backbone as it stars an 11-year-old who follows an adult dance troupe, engaging in twerking and other questionable behavior along the way. Because of the growing awareness and concern about child sex trafficking and pedophilia, Cuties rightfully fell into the crosshairs of the culture wars, exposing the pedophilic bent of Netflix, which a few years back partnered financially and directionally with the Obamas. Controversy surrounding the film reached a crescendo when grand jury in Tyler decided to pursue a criminal case against Netflix, issuing an indictment that has not yet received a court date. Amazingly, or perhaps not, the left-wing media is standing in defense of Cuties, accusing its critics of misunderstanding the film. Peter Bradshaw, writer for The Guardian, went so far as to brandish critics of Cuties as vicious trolls and mischief makers who simply cannot appreciate the type of entertainment that he enjoys watching. I can't believe he even called it entertainment. The end of the film apparently counters what Bradshaw describes as the pornification of girls and young women by social media and society in general, which provides a false promise of liberation through sexual displays. If this is correct, then perhaps Bradshaw is right about Cuties. The problem lies in what he even admits are offending scenes in the film are gruesomely unwatchable and deliberately so. One could make the case that such scenes are intended to further deter viewers against the objectification and sexualization of young children. On the other hand, why show them at all if the point is to condemn such activity? The film doesn't entirely work, Bradshaw admits, but not necessarily for the right reasons. He claims that the film was presented in good faith and its message clear enough for viewers, and he actually had the gall to say that it and Netflix are demonstrating more good faith than Twitter and its pitchfork mob. Well, I don't know if anyone's actually going to go to jail over this. I mean, I certainly like to think so. I hope like the producer and executives from Netflix are certainly, going to see the inside of a courtroom. But at least, someone is breathing down their neck about this, as this is beyond revolting. Thank you so much for coming along to my video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It would greatly help out the channel. And God bless y'all.